Hello, my name is Tiffany Henderson. I had previously did a speech on women in combat roles. I gave like a little small brief history, starting back to 1917 I'm sorry, 1775 on when women were first able to work alongside soldiers. But now my persuasive speech is going to be covering um, current history as far as the combat roles and where we've gotten so far, and just some scientific research, um, information that has been found about women serving combat roles. So I want to start with the fact that we do have, well, in 2014 or 15, if I'm not mistaken, we had Lieutenant Shay Haver and Captain Kristen Grist. I'm probably saying her name wrong, but them two females, they passed the 9-week training for Ranger School, which is considered a really rigorous training um, for just males and male soldiers in general. Um, Ranger School is typically 36% of the male soldiers that attend Ranger School will fail, leaving only 42% to graduate. Um, so the fact that they made that little slim to none percentage, and there were females on top of that, is a big thing. It goes to show, because Ranger School, from what I've heard, is pretty tough. So, and it's tough on the body physically and definitely mentally, because your body can most likely push through most things. It's really just a mental game. Like, you have to really have in your mind that you can get through it, with the military, what many of the military trainings that we go through. So with that one, I heard it's really big like it's really hard mentally, but it's hard physically too, though. But if you can push yourself and just having your mind to push through, you may be able to pass. But that is a tough training. So for the fact that those females graduated from that program, from that training, was a big step towards what the Secretary of Defense was saying about women being able to join combat roles. Was pretty much proving that it is possible. We can, or well, female soldiers can. So even though they passed the training, the likelihood, because it was before 2016, the likelihood of them to see combat was still slim to none. They were not going to, most likely, they were not going to put them in no combat positions or uh, duties, or any kind of combat duty stations or deployments that they would see frontline combat. Um, but in 2016, that was forced to end, and they had to allow females to serve frontline with their male battle buddies. Many felt that women were not ready for combat front line, stating that we were too fragile, we're um, not mentally ready, mentally strong enough for it. But the there was a study that was performed by the National Center of PTSD, and this study showed that um, both genders handled the handled frontline combat equally. The only differences was that, when I'm saying they handled it equally, I'm talking mentally, their mental health. The only difference was men were more likely to fall for substance abuse, leading to them to be more aggressive, um, react to like stressful situations aggressively, and just outraged, and which ultimately led to them being, or injuring themselves or injuring somebody else. And at the end of the day, like, as a soldier, you're a military, you're the United States property. So once you injure yourself, you're costing the US money because they have to make sure that you're properly healed and at your best standard to serve. And in the meantime, they still have to pay. So as being government property, you're supposed to maintain your body at all times. And that's actually in our contracts when we sign our contracts to join. Our body is the government property and we must maintain it. So with them starting to do like becoming falling for substance abuse and reacting to stressful situations aggressively and injuring themselves and others, they're putting themselves in a situation and also putting um, the military or the government in a situation as well. Um, where women, they did not typically fall for substance abuse um, due to PTSD. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a few women that did, but most women did not. We were able to handle it mentally. I feel like that's because women, we're able to handle. I'm not saying all women, I'm not saying that men are not able, but from what I know, women are more able to handle stressful situations, mental damage a little bit easier, even though we may seem like we're crazy or be called crazy, but we're able to handle mental stress slightly different than men are able to. Um, Later, the study showed that emotionally men were more likely to oh no, I already said that. So women even though another thing was that women during concerning combat war, women's bodies are different. We have a smaller skeletal structure. Our heart is smaller. Our upper body strength is not as strong as a male's upper body strength. So that's another reason why um, a lot of people thought that females were not capable or um, should not be serving in combat roles. And even though that is true, um, and also women, we're also more susceptible to injury, and in the military it's more women hospitalized for like body skeletal issues such as like I mean just broken bones, tumors and stuff. You know, but women, we sometimes have more endocrine, if I'm not mistaken, issues versus where men don't have those issues as often. So, such as like tumors and breast cancer, genital issues, stuff like that. Um, we're more likely to have those issues where men are not. Um, Men are more likely, the studies show that men were more likely to be hospitalized for like viruses, food poisoning, like some kind of illness or something along those lines versus physical body injuries like women were. So that was another reason why they felt like men or women should not serve in combat roles because it's a physical job. But with that being said, not all women are are prone to being injured, and not all women are weak. There's been plenty of times where there's been a female that was stronger than their male battle buddy, or just the luck of the draw, a male battle buddy got injured, and that female battle buddy doing the same training did not get injured, just because it's just the luck of the draw. So just because those things were mentioned does not mean that that's goes for all females. Because I know for me personally, I like to relate. Um, when I first joined the military before I had a baby, and that's another thing. Women were also they also stated that women we can become pregnant, so that puts us out of work or out of duty to be a combat to do combat duties for a good amount of time because we have to go through our 9 months of pregnancy and then they have to allow us um, leave to heal, maternity leave. So that was another issue they brought up. But like I was saying, me personally, when I was in the military before I had my daughter, um, and I only uh, wasn't able to maintain this PT score after I had my daughters because I became lazy. It wasn't because I had a child, but before I had my daughter, I was able to run my 2 miles in 11 minutes. I was up there with the men. Like the way the PT scale is set up, our run time is more time. We're allowed more time to run our 2 miles. We're allowed less push-ups and less sit-ups. But and the men are allowed well, they're supposed to be able to do more push-ups than we are. Their minimum numbers are more than ours for push-ups, sit-ups, and their run time is less than ours. So they have to run theirs depending on age, weight, and all that. But for my run, I can say though I was able to keep up with the males. My push-ups, no, I wasn't able to keep up with the males on that one. My sit-ups, I was okay because that involves lower body strength, which I feel like women have a lot of lower body strength. So that was also an issue as far as uh well, a thing that was brought up by people that were debating about women joining is the fact that our body strength and our body structure is different. I got off topic almost. So like I was saying though, we are able to keep up in most aspects. The big issue I really feel like though is that as society, we're used to a certain stereotype of gender roles. There's females, well, women are not seen to be as like the ones that go out and serve frontline, which is killing, um, shooting and stuff like that. That's nothing that is typically seen for a woman, the stereotype for a woman in our society. So I think one of the bigger issues that with the women allowing to be doing combat roles was that society, we see it as women are not allowed to do that. So it's not because we're not capable, because we are just as capable as a male is. It's just the stereotype of seeing a woman doing performing in that role, because it's not what we've been doing all this time, is different, and we can't accept it. Um, so that's my persuasive speech on women serving in combat roles. My sources were www.washingtonpost.com news/news and www.news.sciencemag.org. Thank you.